Hello everyone, so I'm going to be making a 4-part video series just talking about my favorite musicians in a band. So, just talking about my favorite people that fill the roles. You have drummers, bass players, guitarists, and of course, vocalists. So the first up is the drummers.
Better than Ringo, right?
Okay, so on with the rest of the video. I'm sadly not going to be able to mess around with any instruments for the rest of the, series. But anyways, so to start it off, I'll just get rid of the honorable mentions. So the honorable mentions would be John Bonham, John Malmayan, Ray Luzier, and David Silveria. David Silveria. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Both of Korn's drummers. Gene Hoglan, Dave Lombardo, Brand Daler, Travis Barker, Charlie Benante, and Vinnie Paul. So, I have a very fun relationship with Vinnie Paul. So as you can kind of tell, this, most of this is mostly metal because, metal is my favorite music genre. But anyways, for Vinnie Paul, as a nice side little note, I remember the first Thanksgiving first New Year's I spent with the in-laws. I was talking to my brother-in-law and he threatened me with physical violence over me saying that Vinnie Paul was not in my top 10 favorite drummers. I'm sorry, he threatened me with physical violence because I said Vinnie Paul was not my number one favorite drummer. So that was really fun. But anyways, so talking about the actual real top 10 for favorite drummers, it would be Tommy Lee. That's number 10. For my whole life, I've loved Motley Crue, and Tommy Lee's just stuck out, And mind you, in no way, shape, or form, for this video or the others, is this me saying that I think they are the best. This is just my own personal opinion, who I like the most, I know that for the people that are on my list, I know there's a lot of people that are better, and there's also quite a few bands that I haven't checked out yet that maybe whenever I do, maybe this list would change, maybe it won't, but anyways, Tommy Lee is my number 10th spot. Motley Crue is one of my favorite bands, and speaking of another one of my favorite bands, number 9 goes to Christoph Schneider. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Rammstein's drummer. Absolutely love Rammstein, one of my favorite bands, probably my third or fourth favorite band. Absolutely love them. 8 is John Otto of Limp Bizkit. Quite a few of these musicians throughout the whole list. I know they have likely been in multiple other bands, but this is just where I know them the most from. I know a lot of people hate Limp Bizkit, but they're probably my favorite band of all time. They mean a lot to me personally, and I just love them. And it's more than just the most well-known popular songs. I might make a list for my favorite Limp Bizkit songs, but I'm not sure. Anyways, absolutely love John Otto. Number 7 is Dave Grohl. Now, mostly his work with Nirvana. I'm not sure if he's really drummed anywhere else with anything else. But Dave Grohl for Nirvana. That's number 7. Number 6 is Rick Allen for Def Leppard. Or Def Leppard, I'm sorry. There's just something really impressive. He only has, one arm, of course, because of the tragedy that happened to him. And he's still able to drum pretty well, and that's really impressive to me. So, the 6th spot goes to him. 5th spot, I know this would upset quite a lot of people that he's this low, but of course it's Neil Peart. I mean, come on, you have to love him. Anyways, moving on from him, quite a few of these, just like Neil Peart, it's what more can I say about him? He is just so loved, and for a very good reason. Others, there's some profound things that can be said. However, I'm just not that smart. I'm just going off of, what I like. And these are what I like, I'm just not that smart, but, whatever. Anyways, so number 4th is Danny Carey of Tool. I mean, come on, again, what more can I say about him? He is absolutely amazing to me. The drums in Tool is one of the biggest standout things to me. Number 3, again, this would get a lot of heat, a lot of hate, but it's Lars Ulrich of Metallica. I know a lot of people hate him, especially over the whole Napster thing, which, going into this video, I was telling myself I wouldn't bring up that, but whatever. I know a lot of people hate Lars, but I don't know. I honestly love him. I think he's a really good drummer, especially, seeing them live here last week, Okay, at the time of recording last week, seeing him live, I thought it was really cool. And he's always just been a very good, impressive drummer to me. My second favorite drummer is Joey Jordison, of Murder Dolls and Slipknot and quite a few other things. Again, like, what more can I say? He was, so iconic and such an amazing drummer. It is so horrible he is no longer with us. Anyways, I really want to go on to say, more profound things, but while I do love drums, they're not, my favorite position in a band. Anyways, number 1, for my number 1 favorite drummer would be Mario DePlanter. I hope I'm pronouncing his name. Gojira's a drummer. Again, he, in my opinion, might just be the best drummer in all of metal. He is so amazing. I saw Gojira in concert in Camden of September 20th, 2024. And going into that, one of my best friends had hyped me up, saying, okay, dude, whenever you go there, pay attention to Mario, pay attention to the drummer. He's so amazing. He's the best drummer in all of metal. And he kept on hyping it up. And I'm like, we'll see. I was just kind of passing him off. And then going to go see Gojira in concert. And, paying attention to Mario, it is just, holy shit, it is mind-blowing. He really is amazing, Yeah, I know a lot of people are probably going to be upset with this list that, their favorite isn't on this, but, I don't know, make your own. That's all I can say. This is all my opinion, and perhaps, it's very real that whoever you think is your favorite drummer, whoever your favorite drummer is, whoever you think is the best, it is very real and possible that I just haven't actually checked them out. But anyways, that's my list. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you stick around for the next ones. Bye.